Today we call these people the Mississippians, and their culture spread across almost all of eastern North America. They created not only huge mounds and earthworks, but also refined works of art. They were highly organized, and with organization came power, trade, and wealth unseen on this scale in ancient America. The Mississippians were divided into feudal chiefdoms. Moundville was one of their most important centers. How did it happen? About 3,000 years ago, the archaic Indians of the Southeast became the first Indians of North America to invent pottery. Again, life changed for the ancient Alabamans. The archaic period ended, and the woodland period began about 3,000 years ago with cultivated crops and the birth of agriculture. Squash, sunflowers, and later corn anchored the people to the land. Permanent villages were established. With agriculture, the people became masters of their own destiny. Slowly, very slowly, they were on the road to civilization. And then it happened. A new, distinct culture emerged. The Mississippians. Their beginnings can be traced back 1,300 years ago to the central Mississippi Valley. By 800 years ago, their culture spread across the east. It's not by accident that Moundville became one of the great centers of the Mississippians. The Black Warrior River Valley provided the Mississippians with what they needed: rich soils, ample water, and a long growing season to nurture their crops, especially corn. Mississippian civilization was dependent on rivers. Normally, forest soils would be depleted within just a few years of cultivation. But with the rejuvenating floods of spring, the Black Warrior River Valley became the permanent home of perhaps 10,000 people in an area from the coastal plain to the falls of Tuscaloosa, and at its center, Moundville. We cannot be sure exactly why the mounds were built. They may have been constructed by forced labor to a powerful chieftain, or they may have been built voluntarily as religious homage. We do know that an immense amount of organization and labor went into the construction of the 20 major mounds. They were constructed over 300 years. The mounds were built by manpower, basketful by basketful. The orderly arrangement of the mounds suggests they were part of a master plan. Most of the mounds are flat-top pyramids with their sides aligned to the cardinal directions, north-south and east-west. The one significant exception is Mound A. Mound A is located in the heart of Moundville and overlooks a broad, expansive plaza. Why the different alignment of Mound A? We don't know, but it appears to be the main council house of the site. Just to the north is Mound B, the largest mound by volume. It contains 4 million cubic feet of earth and has 2 ramps leading up its sides. It peaks at 60 feet above the plateau that Moundville is built upon. Mound B towers above other mounds, which are 10 to 15 feet high. Despite the similarity to pyramids found in Mexico, there is no indication of any direct ties between Mississippian culture and peoples in Mexico. No Mexican artifacts have been found in the southeast. Not all of the mounds are readily visible. Trees stand in woodlands, away from the plaza, and at one time had commanding views of the Black Warrior River. Moundville was a city-state. A chieftain ruled by a powerful leader who probably lived atop Mound B. Nobles Mounds and other members of the ruling class may have lived on other mounds. Atop smaller mounds were religious structures and funeral houses. Moundville was a fortified city. A wooden stockade formed a giant arc from the bluffs of the Black Warrior River and continued east, ending at the ravine of Carthage Creek. Moundville's population of around 3,000 people crowded into 300 acres. 800 years ago, it was a large, powerful city. But why was it fortified? Moundville's political influence extended north and south along the Black Warrior River. Perhaps 10,000 more people lived in villages controlled by